Good morning to participants, worthy Managing Director Raghav Mahajan, respected principals and faculty members of Golden Group of Institutions. Today we have gathered here virtually for our event Youth Sign Out, in which brilliant minds chosen among numerous entrants from the various parts of our state will present their intellectual viewpoints on the topic post-COVID world. Before we commence the event, I, Sherry, member of media team, would like to give an introduction about Golden Group of Institutions. Golden Group of Institutions has been serving the society in the education sector since last 60 years. From the preschool training to master degree and placement of students in the future-oriented organization. The founder of Golden Group of Institutions, Sri Dinanath Mahajan, and his son, chairman of Golden Group of Institutions, Dr. Mohit Mahajan, have dedicated their life towards the upliftment of society's backward race. And now his son, Mr. Raghav Mahajan, Managing Director of Golden Group of Institutions, is bringing forward the same report. Golden Group of Institutions, since the pandemic has started, continuing to achieving the mission toward education, we had organized multiple webinars, activities, and placement for our students on different topics. Golden Group of Institutions have flexible fee structure that understand that every student's requirement to pay to get higher education, where profit is not our motive. Providing the best education is our. In today's event, Youth Synod, a meet of intellectual students from the different institutions and colleges all over the state have they represent their college and institution for the post-COVID world topic of Youth Synod. Now I request Dr. Jistinder Parvati to kindly give a welcome speech to our speakers, audience and faculty members. Over to Dr. Jistinder Parvati.
Okay, thank you, Sherry, and good morning to all of you. It's Spinder Kaur, Principal Golden Institute of Management and Technology. Welcomes you all. Our MD, Mr. Raghu Mahajan ji, Dr. Lakwinder Pal Singh ji, Principal GCET, Golden Group of Institutions, faculty members, and dear speakers. I welcomes you all on this gala event, Youth Sinai 2020. It's a privilege for us that you all are assembled here for this event. And COVID world, that is a burning issue nowadays. And it's very important for all of us to know about the consequences that we will face after this. So this session is going to be very beneficial for all of us. So I would like to give my best wishes to all the speakers and all the participants. And now I would like to over to Sherry for the further proceedings. Sherry ma'am, please proceed.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to introduce today's speaker, Pavleen, student of BTech from Gulzar Group of Institutions, Ludhiana, Anhad, student of BCA from City University, Ludhiana, Yatin, student of BTech from Universal Group of Institutions, Laluri, Mohali, Kulvinder, student of Diploma Engineering from R&D Center, Ludhiana. Please note down, speaker, this is for you. Speaker, you will get 7 to 10 minutes to present your part on the topic. After that, judges will note your remarks and you may be asked questions if there will be from the judges. Then we will announce the next candidate to represent their part. Now, I would like to request the principals and Mr. Raghav Mahajan to give us permission to start the event.
Yeah, program may be started.
Please, sure, carry on.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, Pavleen, student of BTech from Gulzar Group of Institutions. Ma'am, you can start your topic.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are completely audible, ma'am.
Good morning to one and all over here. I am Pauline Kaur from Gulzar Group of Institute, Ludhiana, Khanna, and today I am going to speak on the topic post-COVID world. It is the result of work by experts who have been actively analyzing the topic since the early days of the crisis. It will become relevant. It will also become beneficial, and Internet of Things, blockchain technology could play an even more prominent role. So, the recovery that COVID-19 crisis has been so at human health and at social level, it is already having economic effects on individuals, business, nations, important sectors, and facing taxes for globally spilling into the third quarter, GDP globally. Activities like travel, tourism, retail, cinema, etc. Financial market including currency will continue to be volatile. The stock market may have been on for bank insurance, the outlook is negative for the next trimester and uncertain after the crisis. Very low interest rate, lowered consumption will be the first impact in banking sector, health and life sciences. These sectors are experiencing boom in healthcare. The crisis is revealing two key facts. There was excessive cost cutting post 2008, and the sector has not extracted most of the benefits of digitalization manufacturing. With distressed consumption, some areas of manufacturing may see marked low activity. However, there will be opportunities in the sector, the power of adaptability and flexibility. Public sector and defense. The public sector seems to be the responding well and regaining at least some of at good reputation. Defense and activities will surge and governments may well call the shots in highly constrained economy. Energy, retain, transport and services. These industries are being very negatively impacted by the crisis in services. Activities such as travel, tourism, leisure, and outdoor entertainment are frozen. A new kind of nationalism. America has launched nationalism with the armed forces, but you can't shoot a virus. Those on the front lines against coronavirus are there are doctors, nurses, clerks, utility workers, small business owners and employees. Impact of COVID-19. In the light of impact of COVID-19 on the individual and collective behavior of society and state, people's continued thirst for information, it is necessary to keep in mind the post-pandemic world. When it comes to decision making, the COVID-19 storm will pass and mankind will survive. Despite the loss of many lives, humankind will soon live in a world that is very different from one before the virus. However, the pandemic will succeed where the other movements of 20th century has failed in the struggle to establish democracy and human rights and preserve a safe environment for all. The post-epidemic stage will see the emergence of a new human being whose daily behavior and thinking will differ from what if before the COVID-19 outbreak. The political, legal, and economic systems will have to adapt to the new human. Despite the timely importance of the current safety measures being put into action around the world, there is a great need for these to be integrated into a comprehensive post-pandemic system. In fact, we will ourselves face with generation who think differently from the pre-pandemic generation. So coming to a conclusion, since the crisis will trigger deep and lasting, they must focus on transformational actions, those that will enable organizations to have an even stronger position in the new position prestigious world. In general, organizations need to pass the inflection point from legacy focus to new business focus. Flexibility will drive from data centricity lighter processes, and high levels of intelligent automation, digital platforms and ecosystem must be a priority since they will be lever transformation from legacy to digital. Thank you so much and have a nice day ahead.
Yes, Shari, all the next candidate.
Yes, I think Anahad from City University, Ludhiana. Anahad.
Hello, am I visible? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Oh, hello to everyone. Good morning to all the organizers and speakers. Thank you for giving me a wonderful opportunity. I'm Anhad of City University, and today I'm going to speak words and express my thoughts on the post-COVID world, or we can say the aftermath of the coronavirus on the whole world. I'm going to divide this in 4 points. Like first, I will present it as a human lives loss because it's the most important. Second is economical and financial loss. Third one, I will say the political tensions which are created between China and other countries. And the fourth are the what could be the possible predictions according to the present. What would be the possible conditions in the future, and how the people will react, how the industry will react, how the financially the economy will go, how it will get deviated. So I would like to start from the human lives loss. We know that coronavirus has barely killed more than 1 million people, and still 32,000, more than 32,000 people have died in India. And still it's like showing its peak power, and still many beds are filled in the hospitals, many containment zones are made. And in future, if the vaccine is not made, then it probably will show its worst form. So the human life is very much affected, and in future, how the human will react to this. There are many phobias in the human mind, as humans make some perceptions about something, whether it's virus or something else. So there will be some perceptions in the human mind when it comes to coronavirus, because it's a life-taking deadly virus and many people are plagued with it. So people would react something like this. The possible predictions made by the like journalists and the other scientists and the psychologists, how the human would react, how the human life would be evolved. First of all, the e-market, they will prefer the e-market. The e-market will prosper so fastly because people would not prefer to go to the market, and would not prefer to go to the gather at the market, to gather at the shop, grocery shops. So they will like prefer that the shopkeeper or the shop owner comes to our home and or sends grocery or anything else like medicines or other daily needs, essential needs items to our house via some delivery boy. So the e-market will grow very faster. People will like demand more and more things to the home, and with better safety, like the delivery boy should come with proper mask and gloves, and all these things will be in great demand. The second would be like that people, the worshipping places, the worshipping places will remain empty. However, we have some religious sentiments for our all the religion in God which we believe. So the even the sentiments remain the constant, but people will have some phobia. So whether it's temples, gurdwaras, mosques, all will be like remain shut for a long period of time. Third will be would be like that how the human life is migrate again affected so much. Like many people, like daily wage laborers who used to earn hardly some rupees after working hard in heat and like in very tough conditions. Now they are really in very bad condition because the work is has just just shut down, and they're now not getting money at all. So but government is giving them all the relief and all the what it could what it could do, and government is showing its best, but still it's insufficient because everything can't be provided to the poor people. So the human life is so much affected, not only due to the coronavirus, just also because of lack of money. If we see the United States, we can see that there are many people, like thousands of people have become homeless. They have no work to do. They are unemployed, and they are forced to like stay on footpaths. They were forced to spend their nights in footpaths, public parks. So there is also widespread resentment in the minds of people against government and against the system. So I would like to move on point second, which is the industrial, how the industry will react and how the economy will be changed. Here in industry, I would like to add two kind of industries. Like first, I will add government, how the government will be affected. Like it's everything is not running. Every factory is shut, so government is not getting revenue. No one is working. The tax collection is not there, so the revenue is very low. The treasury of government is going down. So it is finding its like some ways to like recover its revenue so that it could provide best to its citizens. And whereas and on the other hand, if you talk about the private industries, like private industries not getting their raw material, which used to come from exports, and because exports and the lack of manpower is the main reason, because many uh, daily wage laborers and many laborers used to work in the machine factories and in even in the labor contractors under the labor contractors, like building like all that civil building workers and all that mechanical workers, all will be gone to their homes. So the manufacturing unit has found a big pit hole in its way to the progress. So this is the main thing of concern. And whereas it comes to India, the GDP growth, it has fallen to minus 3.2%, and it is expected that India would decline much than this current number. But India has got its position at third number. If we talk about the risk management, industrial risk management means how the India would be able to get out from this kind of adversity when all the economical loss, all the factories are shut, how all the exports are shut, all the industries are shut, how fastly it can recover. So India could recover easily because it's at third number. First number is taken by China, second USA. And let me come to the third point, which is about the political tensions. Political tensions, the China is being surrounded by many nations, because China has been accused for spreading this deadly plague in this world, because it has been first in China, and many countries are just appealing China and forcing China to like show its whether to investigate the Wuhan city and its virology lab, so that they can find proofs whether it's natural or man-made. However, it's not found that whether it's natural or man-made. But in future, the if we see the present, the America and the China are in skirmish, and America is demanding that we want to investigate your lab, but China is still not agreeing its offer. So I think that in future, the predictions, if we made, that the political tensions will also increase, not if we look apart from human lives loss and economical loss. Third thing is more important, there is big benefit to the pharmaceutical companies and the IT companies, and there is big loss to the companies manufacturing units, because lack of labor, lack of raw material will will affect adversely to the manufacturing unit, whereas the software developing unit, the IT sector will prosper more. The pharmaceutical sector will prosper more, because the IT sector people are just like you and me are talking on a video call. We are talking on an app, and the demand of these kinds of app will increase day by day, because many people would prefer to talk on digital media platform and study on this digital platform. So the companies will take a competition to make these kind of similar kind of apps and more improvised versions. Moreover, the apps like Arogya Setu and many other apps will be made, so that the location of the sick person could be traced through that app, and the help could be delivered as fast as possible, as immediately as possible. And the second is the pharmaceutical companies. We see that the demands of sanitizers and all other life-saving medicines, injections, antidotes, antibiotics is increasing, and it will increase in future if the vaccine is not made. Even if the vaccine is made, the demand will be at its peak. So the pharmaceutical companies will enjoy a great monopoly in the future. It is the prediction. The third one is there will be the more unemployment and the more decline in the per capita GDP in the country like India, because already India has low per capita GDP, and every person per person is getting lesser income. So in future it is predicted that people's income will decline. So it's a matter of great concern that how the people will sustain in this competitive world, and how the government will deliver help to each and every person, because government is also trying its best. All the medical staff is trying to do its best, but still it is not possible to handle a country of 130 billion people. So it's a big battle. It will be a big battle in the future. If we think that everything is going slowly recovering, it's true that everything is recovering slowly, but there is big battle waiting for us, not for us, but for whole world in the future. So we think we have to make a strategy regarding this. The government has to make a strategy regarding this, and it is all upon the situations, how the cases will increase. If the cases are if we compare to the present, the cases are increasing day by day, and in future it has maximum possibilities that it will go higher and higher. So if the cases go higher, there will be more stress on government. So it will give it government the less chance to concentrate on the incomes and the lifestyle of people. It will force them to look upon the health of the people first, because the health of the country is first and must. Because if a healthy country could be healthy country could prosper. So these are some predictions which are possibly happen in the futures. Thank you to so much to all organizers and to all speakers for giving me opportunity. This is all I spoke. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anhar. Judges, kindly note down the required points and remarks of the student. And judges, if you have any query regarding the speech, you can ask to the speaker. Now I request Yatin, student of BTech from Universal Group of Institutions, Laladu, Mohali. Kindly present your part.
First of all, good morning, everyone. My name is Yatin Sharma. I am representing Universal Group of Institutions. Today, I am going to give my views on post-COVID world. So, as we all know, and going through the most unpredictable and disruptive event in our life, that is COVID-19, or we all know that it is called coronavirus. coronavirus will not be the last disease happening in our human life. As all the prediction for future, I think is not possible. But it is only possible if we learn the things from our past and present. Now the main case is COVID-19, or this is COVID-19. First, we have to predict is to deal with the daily virus. Due to the innovations and technology, the coronavirus is very easy to travel from country to country or from one doorstep to doorstep. So as to predict future, we have to compromise with some our desires. The first concern is that we have to control some our needs, that we are eating unhealthy foods, and to improve our immunity. So first, we have to avoid the unhealthy food. This will also define our approach to food. Now, also we have a look on the changes after coronavirus in our livelihood and our working experience through the virtual world. Like that, we are doing a conference calls. So due to COVID-19, the use of virtual world or virtual things get practical. People are moving from offline mode to online modes, work from home, virtual schooling will become a daily routine or in our routine. For this step, coronavirus is also like a boom for fixing internet as a part of a life or a basic need of life. It is also a basic human right, as the current another trend that will strengthen is movements toward working from home and flexi working. The benefit of this movement is daily traveling will end, uh, spaces for offices will shrink. For those people who have family responsibilities are able to work and they contribute to the country economy. Now the changes occur in our economy in the future is an important factor. Let's talk about some economy crisis. As the economy going down due to coronavirus, it is a wake-up call for all of us to strengthen the infrastructure of our economy, developing the strong manufacturing sectors and encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship will be happen. It made us self-depend to be happen, as it made said by our Prime Minister to become self-dependent and make our country self-dependent. Also, the government providing their citizens the fund to have their own business to boost our economy. Apart from these all, people realized some changes during the time of 84 days lockdown and self-insulation, as that our environment and the nature become clearer from the past decades. We realized some changes in our nature, like the bird songs in the early morning, clear Ganga, and other river waters are getting clearer. The coming of perfect monsoon, clear and pollution-free air, that will help us motivate people to take steps to protect our environment and wildlife and culture. So there will be some changes occur also in our personal life due to the post-COVID world. As we all know, the mask and the gloves will be a compulsory due to the changes of the danger of coronavirus. The queuing is a normal part of the life. Public transport looks different, as there are specific seats in the buses, trains, or aeroplanes. People so all to have a social distancing among the people. Every people will have to take care when we hear something sneezing or sniffle. Due to the same restrictions, we will start to make holidays more in our home yards, whether to go outside or to decline overseas. And we are just traveling interstates. We have to avoid these all to protect ourselves. Apart from this, the fear that settle in our heart of the people will never end due to the coronavirus, as many people have lost their loved ones. People still be fearful and avoid going to social gatherings like family functions, religious functions. Even the small to get together should be avoidable for the some time. The extent of this social distancing shall be vary from person to person. The person who has lost their dear ones will take some time to overcome from this trauma. Sports events should also be not able to attract more crowd, or like avoid. We are going to avoid cinema halls, malls, departmental stores, and other restaurants because of fear of reoccurrence of coronavirus. Use of public transport shall be affected drastically when it is of air, road, or rail. As we all see during the period of lockdown, in our country, many workers migrate from their workplace to their hometowns, which will affect our manufacturing industries due to the short of labor. These industries have a give a high wages to the retained labor. Export, import, international treaties, immigration should also not be affected. The COVID-19 shell has shown us the value of the frontline workers for from nurses to migrate, as we all see farm workers, delivery boys, sanitary workers, those all contributing at the bottom of the hierarchy has become more visible. In a time, they may translate into better benefits and working conditions faced by them. We may even see the pay gaps between the top executives and frontline workers reducing. Healthcare industries, including like doctors, hospitals, they all should be in the high demand and may become too busy. There will be an increase in the number of subscriber of health insurance. Pharmaceutical companies shall also do be a good profit and create great profit. At last, COVID-19 will emerge as a game changer in the society. As we all know, work from home shall have become a corporate fashion nowadays. People any shift to e-commerce for buying things, as we all go for departmental stores in a previous our time. But in the post-COVID world, we get affected by e-commerce to buy anything. We even take our rations from e-commerce websites, and therefore there will be a bright future for some services like e-commerce and their allied corner services. And this is all about my views on post-COVID world. And that we, after the pandemic is over, we all have a happy life. So thank you to give me the chance to represent myself on the post-COVID world. And at last, I will also tell you everyone to please stay safe and stay home to avoid the coronavirus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yatin Sharma. Judges
Thank you, ma'am.
kindly note the remarks, and if you have any questions, you can ask the candidate. Next call is for Nana Bansal, student of BTech from JP Institute of Technology. Nana Bansal, you can present your part.
Is I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am, you are completely audible.
Good morning to all of you. My name is Nana Bansal. I'm pursuing BTech from JB Institute of Technology, Dehradun. I'm very thankful to the Youth Synod who gave me this golden opportunity to be a part of this contest. Today, I'm going to express my views on the topic post-COVID world. The coronavirus disease is wreaking havoc across the world, and it is far from clear how long it will last. The full extent of the damage, both economic and non-economic, may not be known for a while. However, it is possible to draw some underlying key aspects in the post-COVID-19 world. In my today's topic, I'd like to cover some topics such as public health security, about regional relations, the force, social safety net for the poor, and about India's COVID diplomacy. Now I will talk on these topics one by one. So I'm starting with the public health security. COVID-19 strikes as a strain that by countries of strategic food stocks, petroleum reserves to enhance their energy security. Some of the richest countries do not have stocks of vaccines, paracetamols, masks, or indeed the HCQ or the hydrochloroquine drug. In other words, public security took a backseat in terms of countries' priorities. The era of unbridled globalization symbolized inter alia by just-in-time manufacturing may have run its course. The COVID-19 crisis has demonstrated that global value chains are extremely vulnerable and unreliable due to there will be a massive efforts to rework value chains based on geostrategic rather than economic criteria. Regional value chains based on geostrategic criteria may ensure for production of strategic goods and services. Now, next thing is the social safety for the poor. The economic impact of the coronavirus disease is expected to be huge and catastrophic. Already before the crisis, inequalities within countries were widening at an alarming pace. What the COVID 19 crisis has done is to highlight the terribly unequal fashion in which the virus impacts the rich, but not so rich. This is true of rich countries such as US, where it is disproportionately affecting the blacks, or indeed in a country such as ours, we saw the migrant labor puts to distress. In the post COVID 19 world, it will be incumbent on most states to devise some kind of social safety net which include not just the right to food, to shelter, to education, but also to health. The COVID 19 crisis has brought the issue of social security for poor and vulnerable among us. India has successfully navigated not just the lockdown, but has also used the strategic opportunities which presented themselves. The quick decision to export vital drugs like HCQ and paracetamol to our neighboring countries and to key friends such as US, EU, Brazil, and Israel. This is not done because of the philosophy that the whole world is one family, but also on our efforts to meaningfully contribute towards tackling what is clearly a global crisis. India must ramp up its production of active pharmaceutical ingredients in the near future. With around 70% production of global vaccines and of drugs such as HCQ, India is well placed to fulfill the role of net public health security provider for the region and the world. As is well known, the Sustainable Development Goals were agreed to after a lengthy period of negotiation, and the broad deadline for achieving those till 2030. The SDG further talks of ensuring health license promotes well-being for all ages. Without knowing the full impact of the virus disease, it is hard to predict whether the necessary progress can be made to fulfill the goal or not. Also, the pandemic impact of the crisis, especially on countries such as India, the other SDG goals such as no poverty and zero hunger may be impacted adversely. So there is a need to relook at the SDGs for both the viewpoint of time frame, so that poor countries will need to achieve them in a timely manner. In ideal world, a future make retail and get together for the sake of a common good. Yet there is a valuable sign at hand. Indeed, multilateral cooperation has been forthcoming at all. There is more reason, chance, the great rivalry, national interest, and broad geopolitical rules in a post-COVID-19 world. I sum up my speech with a quotation that ultimately the great lesson that COVID-19 can teach us is that the humanity is that we are all in this together. Thank you for your patience. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Nana Bansal. Judges kindly note down the required points and remarks of the student. And if you have any query, you can ask the candidate. Now, Kulvinder, student of Diploma Engineer from R&D Center, Ludhiana, you can present your part.
A very good morning to all of you. My name is Fulvinder from R&D from Ludhiana, Punjab. I am pursuing automobile engineering from R&D Polytechnic College. Today I am going to speak on the topic post-COVID world. As we all know that our whole world is going through a very tough time as a pendulum named COVID-19 has struck the whole world with its deadly consequences. The people can catch the COVID-19 from others who are infected by this virus. The diseases can spread from person to person. So some droplets from the nose or mouth, which are spread when a person with the COVID-19 cough. Their droplets land on object and surface around the person. Those with pre-existing medical conditions such as high blood pressure, heart problem, and diabetes appear to be more incapable. The virus can cause a range of symptoms, ranging from mild illness and pneumonia symptoms of the diseases, or fever, cough, and headache. In seriously cases, difficulty is breathing and that can occur. Using availability primary data, the medical time from on the set of clinical recovery for mid cases is approx 2 weeks, and 3 to 6 weeks of patient with critical situations. It is highly unlikely that people can contact with COVID-19 as the respiratory illness, and the primary respiratory transmission route to through directly contact with respiratory droplets generated when an infected person cough and sneeze. There is no evidence to date of virus that could respiratory illness being transmitted. By food and food packaging, coronavirus cannot be multiplied. In food, there is no human host to multiply, but we can keep ourselves and others safe to taking some precautions measures. Some to keep away from others and pets in your home as much as possible. Wear a food mask and cover your face. Covered cough and sneeze with a tissue. Throw the tissue away. Then wash your hands right way. Wash with water and soap after at least 20 seconds, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. If possible, stay in a bedroom and use a bathroom separate from other people. In the home, your separate dishes, glasses, cups, and eat your utensils, and no share there with other whole householder members. After using, then throw dishwashes and wash with very hot soapy water. As we have already discussed about a consequence and reminded of, now I will tell some required reduced tips of COVID-19. Wash your hand frequently. Avoid touch your eyes and nose, mouth. Avoid eating red meat and unnecessary contact with meat wild animal of this virus. So we have to be prepared as well for a hard time economically and emotionally that will affect our life after this fundamentally get over. The world after the first war of COVID-19 must be a more inclusive and in silent sustainable. Too many countries suffered to extent shocked by COVID-19 with or without universal social potential and health system. A plan to reach net zero carbon emission by 2050 on the sustainable economic with equal job. We need to craft an ambition reconstruction working to end the potential. International support is a matter of collection and investment in the future of health and the global economical and multilateralism. The choice of our and the action of the IMF and the multilateral system will be a decision facts. Our goal whole recovery should be a full economically and a new social contact. Public investment in the case economically, educationally, and low carbon infrastructure can from the broken of symptoms that including vehicle and labor marking regularly can size demanded from income. Who putting an end to a business model that allow companies to take no responsibility for their workers. That should be addressed through a relief process. Now I would like to conclude by saying that we can have to together, join arms, and become one to face harsh and life with a positive outlook to make this world a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Judges, kindly note the remarks and points of the students. And if you have any query, you can ask the candidate. Will form their prediction about the students. Thank you so much again for the participants, speakers, faculty members, and our eminent management. Now I request Dr. Lakwinder Pal Singh to give a vote of thanks to our audience and respected speakers.
Yeah, thanks, Shari.
Thank you so much.
Very
sir.
good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to deliver vote of thanks on the event Youth Award 2020. Myself, Dr. Lakwinder Pal Singh, Principal, Golden College of Engineering and Technology, Gurdaspur. On the behalf of worthy management, faculty, staff, and students, conveys my heartfelt thanks to all the participants for making this event great success. I know that they have put a lot of efforts to prepare and present their views on the topic post-COVID world. I express my heartfelt thanks to Engineer Amandeep Singh from Gulzar Institute, Ludhiana, Mr. Yashpal Sharma ji, JB Institute of Technology, Dehradun, Dr. Vishal Jagota, Universal Group of Institutes, Lalaru, Mr. Manpreet Singh from R&D Center, Ludhiana, and Dr. Poonam from City University, Ludhiana for providing us their students to organize this mega event. I also express my thanks to worthy management, Engineer Agar Mahajan, MD Golden Group of Institutes, and our worthy chairman, sir, Dr. Mohit Mahajan ji, for giving us permission and facilities to organize Youth Synod, and to all the organizers who have put their true spirit to make it grand success. I convey my thanks to each and everyone for sparing their time to attend the event. Along with these few words, I am again thankful to each and everyone who is present over here. Thanks all. Thank you so much. Yes, Shari. Hello.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Now I request judges, if you have prepared and formed your prediction about the students, kindly announce the results. Our judges, Dr. Dispinder Kaur Vasil, Dr. Lakwinder Pal Singh, and Mrs. Nidhi Mahajan. Regarding the certificates of the students, you will get your certificate in your inboxes through WhatsApp group. And judges, if you have prepared your results and prediction, you can present it on the meeting. Candidates, wait for shortly. Our judges will present your results. Candidates, wait for few minutes. We are summing up your results. As candidates have brilliantly presented their views on post-COVID world, we hope that various audience that have listened our meet will definitely use these insights to combat the future world regarding the COVID. Wait for the results. We are summing up your results. Okay, now I will announce the marks of the students according to their symmetry. Pavleen from Guzar Group of Institutions, 67 marks. Anhad from CT University Ludhiana, 77 marks. Yatin Sharma from Universal Group of Institution Laluru Mohali, 68 marks. Naina Bansal from JB Institution Ludhiana, 69 marks. Kulvinder from R&D Center Ludhiana, 59 marks. I hope students will get your results and positions. Heartily congratulations to the first, second, and third position. At first position, Anhad from CT University Ludhiana. At second position, Naina Bansal from JB Institution of Ludhiana. And at third position, Yatin Sharma from Universal Group of Institution Laluru Mohali. Congratulations to the participants and for the winners. Thank you so much. Certificates will be provided in the WhatsApp group through your inboxes. Thank you so much to participants, faculty member, and worthy management to join the event. Now I want to take a request to sign off the meeting from worthy principals and managing directors. I request principals and worthy managing director Raghav Mahajan kindly give us permission to sign off the meeting.
First of all, congratulations to all the participants and the winners who has participated in this event. I hope they all have a beautiful time here. Rest. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are completely audible.
Yes. So on behalf of Golden Group of Institutions, this event has ended now. So I wish you all the best, everyone here. Thank you so much for all the participants and members who attended this Youth Sign Out 2020.